Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, but I think for this document, I only draft. I only have a draft version because there still some point I didn't think it very clearly. So I think so I didn't publish to the Kubernetes. So I think I'd like to get your comments before we to do that. The background is a copy from the docs thread about the update and the delete. I think there should be one more user case section. As far as I know, dog use to have a specific user case from the service catalog. I'd like to get the detail of that part. Yes, I will ping dog for the specific user case, so we know. That will be better for us to move forward. Yeah. Or if you have other user cases, that will be great. Yeah.
I know that the SAFE working group, there was some interest in this subject.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what their use cases exactly were. Probably though things that want to integrate third-party policy checks and things.
Oh, that's great. Do any thread or any more info about this part?
So
mostly was I shared kind of an update from us, and people were like, oh, what was that about that external system thing? And I was like, well, doc is coming. So I made an issue for it in the safe for repo, and that's about just to kind of hold it. Otherwise, when we feel like this is ready, sharing it with them, and we can bring in that other CNCF project perspectives on this problem.
What exactly do you mean by use case that isn't covered in the description up above?
Yeah. For the user case, I think from the background, they give a overall introduce about the issue. For example, the update, the delete. But from after I go to the detail and think about this, from my point, this kind of too general about this of this issue. I would like to have some user case to control the scope of what we are going to address, or maybe some to prioritize the item or the feature what we should handle.
So you'd want a more specific use case of like an actual worker that exists and has this problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think also in the last meeting, we also have discussion about that, but we also discussed some general issue or some specific issue. But for general issue, I think that will be the scope may be too big or too huge for us. But so I want to control the scope to make it doable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if there are any, as far as I know from the contacts or from the thread and email, I know there's someone mentioned that there is a specific case from the service catalog. I'm not sure whether there are other user case from the others or maybe some other project. That will be great if you can give some case. That will be helpful for us. Yeah.
Okay, I can talk to Doug and see if we have something we can share.
Yes, that's great. Yeah. Yes, for the discussion, I think in last meeting we have several discussion here. I'm not sure whether we missed anyone. I append 2 points about the discussion here. I think there may be maybe helpful. I will add more comments here if I give some I have some more idea for this one. I think this is the comments I am thinking is that I think this is all this is why I would like to have a user case, because such kind of thing may be a common issue for the distributed system. Yes, I think we discussed several points and several things in last meeting. So that is why I would like to control the scope to make it doable. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up this point, because I was also wondering like where the line is between just dealing with distributed systems problems in general versus policy enforcement. So yeah, I think that's something that's good to keep in mind.
Yeah, so I just yes, that is why I want to have some case. So we need to clarify the scope which we are going to include or what we are going to handle in this project or such kind of proposal. Yeah, I don't want to handle general issue or common issue for the distributed system. That's will be that will be the topic for the research. Yeah. Okay, so I think there is a follow up from the last meeting about the scheduler point. For the default scheduler, we have a HTTP extender feature, so customer can build user can build a customized scheduler, and the default scheduler will communicate with the customized scheduler to dispatch or to schedule the pod. There's some callback. We use HTTP. There's some callback that prioritize predicts. This is the default. This is the default action or operation of scheduler. This is for the scheduling part. I think the other we also give a bound. For scheduler, the bound means assign a pod to the host. I think there is I'm not sure the time. Maybe last year they used someone have a comment that in their extender they will update the results for the third party system, and they have to align with Kubernetes, because the default in the last in some version we only do bound. We only assign pod in default scheduler, and the default and the extender scheduler will do the operation to the external service to the internal resource. In this issue, we only delegate the bound action to the third party extender. So if you configure a bound operation or configure a bound callback, the default scheduler will only execute this callback, and the third part or the customizer scheduler will do bound and do the update results of the third party results.
So are you bringing this as sort of maybe a model that we could use for other sorts of decisions beyond scheduling?
Yeah, yes, I think this is the only example, because we only dedicated this part to the third party result. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's interesting, especially because scheduling in a way is a subset of a policy decision. Very complicated one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the case I didn't cover in the last meeting, because I mentioned there's something there's some similar issue that we handled in the scheduler. I think we don't handle that. It's just a kind of handle because we delegate something to the third party system, let them to handle it themselves. Yeah.
So with the decisions that we're kind of thinking about adding a place where you can have a hook to make that actual decision be deletion, like so finalizers and initialization of sorts, or are there other kind of places that we see that make sense to hook things in within the life cycle of resources?
Oh yeah, I think that makes sense. I also see that there are several discussions about it here. I will also append this part and at least some discussion here. Yeah, I will do that. I will append this part. But deletion. But I didn't go to the detail of this part because it was some time issue. I don't know the some if there are any backward compatibility issue or something else, or how many feature or how many things we are going to impact to the Kubernetes system, because that's going to be to impact the default behavior of how we delete a resource in the Kubernetes. Yeah.
I find this very interesting as well, like the service, the broker use case and such, because we're very used to talking about having where like the container and the pod running is the ultimate place where we can talk about. And in this case, you don't have that. So I find this a very interesting use case that I don't think we haven't as much discussed in Kubernetes, which is where, you know, we're not just, there is more that we're representing in our clusters than just containers.
Yeah.
So what are the viable options if we want to have some conclusion of the discussion today?
For me, I think I have some follow up for this one. For example, I will queue maybe for some specific user case, I'm going to consider the hook for the deletion. I didn't list the option or I didn't propose any solutions right now because I need to put some time to have some reasonable solution for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable enough sharing this doc even as is, so we can bring it in a little, some of these things and get some feedback from the SAFE working group?
Yeah, I think we can publish this after we have some we append the user case.
Okay, so like probably by next week.
Okay. Maybe early next week. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all for me. And if there anyone have some comments, I think you can append to this talk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have any other like suggested topic today. Do you have any other business?
Nope.
Probably though, we should start by next week or so. I think it's almost getting time that we start planning for 113. If we have any specific things we're tracking or looking.
Yeah. Good suggestion.
So for next week or so, maybe even the coming weeks, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's move the discussion to the thread, as well as just running use cases on the document Klaus just shared. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's conclude the meeting today. Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.